Hi everybody, Martyn the Flicking Feathers again today, and I'm tying the Bogey. Obviously it's an attractor pattern, sort of bumble style, wet. Good alternative to a Veevus or a fishand spider when you might push a bit more water. And it works very well for stockfish and wild fish on its day. So as always, I'll put a materials list in the description, along with a link to the Patreon page, which gets you entered into the giveaways for the flies that I'm tying in the channel. You can see I've just put, that's the second one of these in. It's in with the other flies that I've been tying recently. The Morning Glory, the Gizmo, the Kate Hog and the Muirhead Bumble. Alternatively, if you don't want to sign up for the Patreon, you can like the video, share the video, watch it all the way to the end and leave a comment below. All of that helps the channel. And do remember to subscribe and hit the bell button. Come and watch the videos. Right, if even a quarter of the subscribers watch the videos, we would get a lot more views and it'd be a lot more worthwhile. So I've got my hook and my vise. It's a size 10 and I'm using the comp heavyweight, right, the 1530. Size wise for these I would say 8, maybe even a 6 if you were fishing for if you were fishing somewhere where you wanted a big fly, all the way down to a 14, but probably like 8 to 14 or 8 to 12 is probably the main thing, the main size range. So I've run on some thread, and what I'm using here is, just pull that through, this is Veevus and it's D22 is the colour code, right? The reason I'm using this is the original pattern calls for Globrite 11, which is exactly the same colour. Right? You can't, like, you couldn't tell the difference if you were looking at a fly tied with the Globrite and a fly tied with the Veevus, other than maybe the bulk. For the tail, I'm using also the original tail would be Globrite 11. I'm using the Fluo 340 denier, the fluorescent chartreuse. Again, exactly the same colour, right? The fish are no brand aware, they don't care if it's no Globrite. They don't know any better. And this is just convenient because it's thick, right? It's a much heavier floss, so I only need like 5 lengths rather than sitting rolling up, you know, 10 or more of the Globrite. I'm just going to cut that in. I'm just going to tidy everything up going forward. Now trim my tail. Tail length's up to you. I mean, shank length probably is about right, but for me, but maybe you like it a wee bit longer or a wee bit shorter. Up to you. And just give that a wee tap to sort of loosen it. You can actually, if you, it opens up when you fish it, but if you're first, you can brush it now. Catch my ribbon, which is just silver wire, small silver wire. I'll just catch it on my side and I'm just going to run it back, touching tons of thread, right back to the tail. And then my body material is pearl tinsel, just standard pearl. I had a bit on my desk, but I don't see it. Oh well, just got another piece. So again, just catch that in. Now, because the pearl's plastic, you don't need to be worried about cutting a taper. You can just tie it in flat and bang up, touch and turns, right? And obviously you don't need to run back and forward because you've got the nice fluorescent floss and you're tying over it with the same colour. You've got a nice solid underbody of that colour. So I'm going to take my tinsel up, make my nice clean body. Right, I've got a smooth base that I'm winding over, and that's going to make it nice and easy to get a clean tinsel body, right? Which, I mean, if you get lumps and bumps, I mean, the fish are probably not going to care. But if it's smooth, it's much harder for a tooth to catch, you know, and your fly does last longer because there's no any spaces or anything. Body hackle, just got a cock saddle hackle here. This is off a white and it's a Hebert Minor. Oops, just don't like that. There we go, just come back. Just got to tie it in. And then sit down. It's just twisting on me a wee bit there. So just go back. And when the hackle twists on you and you don't like it, you can actually just come in with your thumbnail. That's with any fingernail. And if you just kind of just like crush the rachis a wee bit and get a wee bend and a wiggle, what happens is you're kind of mechanically changing the feather. You know, you've changed how it wants to, how that can sit there, so it will just go sit how you like it. So a couple of turns, and then down the body. There's 3 into my 4th. If you want to hackle it more heavily, I mean, there's nothing stopping you putting 5 on. Up to yourself. But if you go too heavy, you know, you're kind of obscuring a lot of that flashy body. I'm just going to come up with my silver wire, and I'm just come up nice and quick. You know, if it doesn't say you can take it back a half turn and go back the way if you need to, but ideally you just want to go up in a fairly smooth pass. You don't need to wiggle it and worry about trapping hackle. You don't really trap very much. You can see there, I'm turning that, you can see all the way around there's plenty of hackle sticking out. If you do trap hackle, I've showed you in other videos, but you can come in with the Velcro if necessary. Just touch it. And always do it before you remove the waste, right? Because the Velcro you can drag it out if it's just hanging there by a wee half mil at the back there where the wire's catching it. You can easily drag it out and you lose a half turn or something. So the last thing to put on is the shoulder hackle, and I'm using a black hen. I want something quite long, no Hebrides size, but like you know, don't want that leggy style of the Hebridean flies on this, although I'm sure it would work very well on this pattern actually. But anyway, something like this, it's clearly longer than the body hackle, much in the same ways like the Kingsmill bumbles, with that slightly longer hackle, because you can have a bit of movement over around the kind of bulk of the stiff body hackle. So 2 or 3 turns down, fold the tip back, 2 or 3 turns back up, get your tip. And I'm just going to put a wee bit of wax on my thread. Just don't want any slippage here. Just got to, yeah, the wee bit. I kind of run out of wax thread, so I'm just getting a nice bed of wax thread, which helps as you wind. It stops things trying to slip. I'm just going to fold this hackle as I go. Just double it at each turn. Just drop it in. And how much you put on is up to you, right? You might want a big dense front to this, and then you've got the kind of bright, you know, really dark at the front and the bright tail, you know, sort of transitioning out of the body, or you might want it a bit sparser. I like a decent shoulder on it, so I'm going to come up to about there. That's, I wasn't counting, but I think it was about 3.5 turns, but it depends on your feather, right? So 2 turns there's off put in. Now I'm just going to hold my thread tight, and I'm just got to clean this, fold it back, tidy everything up. Right, hold that tight, I can snap it away. Because I've waxed my thread, there's plenty of grip and it's not going to slide away. So just shape my head, and then I can whip finish. And again, I'm just using the whip finish to shape the head. And you'll see there's a wee bit extra wax. Don't know if you can see it actually, but I can see it here. A wee bit extra wax there, just kind of sitting on the thread. You can, if you want, touch that and try to get rid of it. The heat of your finger will make it go away, but you don't really need to worry unless there's a great big chunk. That's just a wee sliver, and the varnish will deal with it. So I'm just going to come in, get the varnish on it, and the solvents and the varnish will take care of the wax, and it just becomes all one thing. So that's it. If you want to, you can obviously give it an extra coat to get a nice shiny head on it. Don't need to, one's enough for a fishing fly. But there you go, that's it, that's the Bogey. Right, as I say, good attractor pattern. I mean, you can fish it like a mini lure, I suppose. You can fish it as an attractor with two more natural patterns behind it. You can put booby eyes on it, and that's a great pattern as well. So I hope that was useful. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, remember to give me a thumbs up below, and I'll see you for another one. Tight lines, guys. Bye.